Now, in talking about this show, it led me to think about factions in wrestling. And I this is a fairly new thing. And when I say new, I'll say, 80s, 90s through today. Like the creation of the Power faction. I couldn't think of anything before that. You had tag teams, or you had a manager that had like a tag team, and then maybe a third guy would get put with it because he was Albano's guy too. Like, Baron Cicluna would tag with the Samoans in their match because they were all under Albano. But the faction that could function independent of the manager, I couldn't think. And I know, the Meltzerites out there will post that in 1971, Bob Roop was part of some faction, but I just can't remember them. I felt this is very much an outgrowth of 80s on.
Yeah, I look at
modern
it. I
wrestling.
mean, if you were to ask me, I would start with the Horsemen, because the Von Erichs were a family.
That's a family. Freebirds tag team exclusively.
Yeah.
It's a 6-man tag.
Yeah, but a faction was the Freebirds.
Did you?
I mean, we're the Horsemen.
The Horsemen, yeah. Do you consider the Kliq a faction? That was a more behind the scenes thing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that in Madison Square Garden, because of who we were when we did the curtain call, and that was the Kliq. Like that was a faction. It was just a backstage faction, which I think made that moment so pivotal. And
the most real of any of the factions, because it was not just for the camera.
Right.
It was real. Right.
It wasn't booked. It was through, but through friendships and miles.
And then the Horsemen, the original, you had the Andersons and Tully and Rick, and they devalue, obviously, right when they start to expand. And the first replacement, I guess, was Barry, right?
Barry, then Lex.
Lex, and then eventually we went all the way out to like Paul Roma. And do you just have to nip it in the bud and say that's it? The Horsemen?
No, because there's always, come Bike Week, there's some fucking faction of the Molly Hatchet band playing like 11 locations, like, the 11th harmonica player on the 13th album of Molly Hatchet's will be tonight at Froggy's. It's like
launching into Flirting with Disaster.
Yeah.